Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Tuesday, the 14th of May 2024. In today's Mill news, we have movement behind the scenes. Last week, from the departure of Steve Kavanagh, Alex Aldridge, and Billy Taylor, we had Steve Gallen coming in. We have another another old face coming in. This is from millwallfc.co.uk. Millwall appoint a managing director of non-football operations, whatever that means. But the person they have appointed is someone who was here before and has come back, which is probably kind of interesting. So, Millwall Football Club is delighted to confirm the appointment of Mark Fairbrother as Managing Director of Non-Football Operations. Mark returns to the club, where he previously held the position of Chief Financial Officer and Company Secretary, following a period in Formula E as a Vice President of Finance. Beginning his career with PricewaterhouseCoopers, Mark entered the football world when he was appointed Head of Finance at Aston Villa, later becoming the Chief Financial Officer of Gloucester Rugby, a position he held before moving to Millwall in 2018. As well as being a chartered accountant, Mark has an MBA and a Masters of Human Resource Management and returns to the club with a wealth of experience and with a wide range of responsibility in the club's non-football operations. Mark said, "I'm delighted to be rejoining Millwall. It's an honour to be offered this opportunity at a club that is very close to my heart. When the chairman spoke to me about the role, outlining his exciting vision for the club and his plans for the future, I knew that was something I wanted to be a part of. I arrived back knowing from my previous role that we have fantastic staff both at the club and community trust to work alongside, as well as an incredibly passionate fan base who have stuck by the club through a rollercoaster season. Looking into the future, there's plenty to be excited about. I can't wait to get going." And Lions chairman James Berylson added, "I'm really pleased to welcome Mark back to Millwall Football Club. Throughout his career, Mark has demonstrated his ability to successfully lead in various senior positions, and with that he brings extensive experience, knowledge and ability. I have no doubt Mark will drive the club further forward, both on and off the pitch in this new chapter. Everyone at Millwall welcomes Mark back to the den and wishes him the very best in his role." Okay, so this isn't CEO, this is MD, Managing Director of Non-Football Operations. MD, not CEO, and not Medical Doctor, Managing Director. Let's move on to this. Same story, which is from the London News Online.co.uk. See if there's anything new here. Millwall appoint Mark Fairbrother as Managing Director of Non-Football Operations. Millwall have announced the return of Mark Fairbrother as their Managing Director of Non-Football Operations. Mark Fairbrother had nearly 5 years with the Championship club as Chief Financial Officer before his departure in October 2023. That's interesting. Now, who else left around that time? Was it not Gary Rowett? Is that related? I don't know. His most recent post was the Vice President of Finance for Formula E. Millwall announced 3 major departures from their senior setup last week: Chief Executive Steve Kavanagh, Director of Football Operations and Recruitment Alex Aldridge, and Chief Operating Officer Billy Taylor. They also confirmed at the same time that Steve Gallen had been appointed as their new Director of Football. Gallen had previously held that title and also other recruitment roles at Charlton Athletic. And then they have the quotes from that we just read. I'm going to read them again. So yeah, this is interesting. Now, why? What is this? What do we think is going on here? Let's read between the lines. So you got a guy who's been there before, he's coming back, much like Neil Harris. Why? Why did he leave in the first place? Was there a clash of a clash of cultures at the top between Steve Kavanagh and anyone else who wasn't in his clique? It does seem from the outside looking in that Kavanagh surrounded himself with people who wouldn't rock the boat and he could get on with. And notably as well, the promotion and the appointment of quite a few women as well. I don't know what that means, but in terms of building a culture of people at the club who wouldn't challenge you, I would suggest if you put a few women in places of positions, then they would highly be unlikely to challenge the person at the top, because I don't think that as long as you keep them sweet, I think that they seem to be more communitarian rather than hierarchical. So whereas men seem to be more jostling for position and whatnot, and that would probably explain why, if the decision to get rid of Steve Kavanagh was taken, that it wasn't just him, it was also Alex Aldridge and Billy Taylor who also shown the door, because it was literally built himself a little clique at the ground. And is that why we've seen Gary Rowett leave? Is that why we've seen this guy left in October 23? So he left last year and he's only just come back. That's quite a short turnaround. To leave a job in October and then to come back less than a year later in a more advanced role. Now maybe once he heard about the sacking, he got in touch with people he knew at the club, James Verelson, the other directors, and gave them a call and said, hey, do you need anyone? Because I wouldn't mind coming back. Maybe it was that. But yeah, it's all very weird, isn't it? I'm sure over time, when the obviously at the moment there's no fans at the club, and normally these things kind of get out when you get sponsors and stuff in the exec lounge. They're hearing things, they're speaking to people, Chinese whispers, and then that leaks out to the message boards and others. But obviously with no matches going on, no match day, that's not going to be happening. So we probably won't get any fresh stuff out until August. But this is all very interesting to see what's going on. Interesting, obviously not CEO, Managing Director of Non-Football Operations. So that would suggest that Steve Gallen, Director of Football, so he's Director of Footballing stuff, and Mark Fairbrother, Managing Director of Non-Football Operations. So then, who's above them? Is previously, since last year, since the 4th of July last year, we've been hearing James Berelson's coming in. He's got to learn the ropes. He needs to be fast tracked onto learning how to do this. Is James Berelson going to be the CEO? He's the chairman or the board. Is he going to be the CEO in name? Is he managing the club remotely from America, where the day-to-day stuff is being handled by Mark Fairbrother and the other guy, Steve Gallen? So then they feed him information. He tells them things to do and stuff. There's board meetings. Obviously, you can have meetings remotely, face to face and stuff. So you you can probably hear and see how someone's delivering news to you, so you can probably tell if they're lying or not. Is that what we're seeing? I imagine it would be quite interesting if that is the case, that James Barrelson would take the reins himself and would basically get more hands-on, and even though he'll probably be living in America, get more hands-on and just run the club himself. So yeah, this is interesting. We'll see how it goes, but I mean, can you imagine if as we've seen, Neil Harris, the results he's got, we are second in the table since the time that he came through the door. If the league was just since Neil Harris came through the door, we would be second in the table. Can you imagine going into next season with James Barrelson at the helm, and he guides us up into the Premier League? We get the money, then we do all the building work with the money that we got from the Premier League. We all have a jolly old time, the fans that can get tickets to games, and yeah, what a story that would be. That would be absolutely amazing. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. MD of non-football operations, not a CEO. So yeah, interesting, very interesting. Now moving on to this from the southernnews.co.uk. End of season awards, the good, the bad, and everything in between from Mill's campaign. This is a little roundup from the season by Cairo Evans of the Southern News. News at Dennis casts its eye back over the past 10 months to remember the line's ups and downs from the 23-24 season. After 46 championship games, a combined 100 goals scored and conceded, 3 head coaches, 1 interim boss, some memorable wins and some painful defeats, Mill's season ended last week. Following their late burst of form, the Lions are wound up only 5 places and 9 points behind what they managed the previous season. The strong finish engineered by Neil Harris is the biggest positive of a campaign that saw the Lions largely drifting around lower mid-table while struggling to pick up form. Time to look back and remember the biggest moments of the campaign. A goal of the season, well, Ryan Longman's epic strike against Leicester City last month is the runaway winner in this department. Well, it was voted the goal of the season. Not only was the effort magnificent and inspired, it was also a crucial goal while Millwall were in the middle of a relegation battle. But some other goals deserve a special mention. A long minute of beauty from outside of the box against Rotherham United in September, his first goal for the club, and George Saville struck an outrageous left-foot volley against Sheffield Wednesday at Hillsborough in November's 4-0 win. Zion Fleming's best effort this season was his wonderful spin and dipping strike away at Preston North End, and Joe Bryan struck a fantastic volley at the Den in January during Mill's 3-1 loss to Middlesbrough. So there you go. There's more? Is there not? Oh yeah. A moment of the season. Having been somewhat flat in the first half of the season, the atmosphere at the Den came to life suddenly in Mill's pulsating 1-0 win over Norwich City under the lights just after Christmas. The away end was also in tremendous form for Harris's comeback game first game back in a win at Southampton. Staying with travelling supporters, it's hard to forget the way fans turned on Gary Rowett during a 3-1 loss at Norwich on a boiling hot day in Norfolk last August. Yes. On the pitch, and one of the best moments of the season happened right at the very beginning, where Romain Esse came off the bench to strike his first goal for Millwall on the opening day at Middlesbrough. Special mention too for the Sean Hutchins New Year's Day winner at Bristol City. In a more serious reflections, John Barrelson's passing last summer has hung over the season, so moments like the unveiling of the new John Barrelson Way road name proved to be particularly moving indeed. Player of the season. Ask 100 Millwall fans who their player of the season was, and and at least 99 will tell you the name Ryan Leonard, arguably one of the most underrated players in the Championship. The 31-year-old plays with an incredible consistency and quality, whether he's in defence or midfield. Leonard often stands out for his poise on the ball, his one-on-one defensive ability, and his intelligent reading of the game. He just doesn't do much wrong. Best newcomer last season's summer loan signings, Brooke Norton-Cuffy and Ryan Longman have done their reputations no harm at the den, while Japhet Tanganga has largely been outstanding since joining on a temporary deal in January, and probably clinches this award for his incredible impact. It's unsurprising the Lions are trying to pursue the defender on a permanent deal. In the first proper full seasons in the first team, there have been many positive youngsters, Romain Esse and Damian Maku, even if they both would have benefited with more football. Best game of the season. There's something special about a hard-fought win at the Den, so the 1-0 victories over the Norwich and Leicester immediately spring to mind. Mill probably gave their most comfortable and authoritative performance in a 3-1 win over Cardiff City last month. From a neutral perspective, October's 2-2 draw at Watford when Adam Barrett was in caretaker charge was plenty of fun. Worst game of the season. Well, there have been a good few games this season completely lacking in any quality, intensity and entertainment, including the 1-0 loss to Cardiff City in December and the 1-1 draw with Blackburn Rovers in March. While a cold goalless draw away at Stoke City just before Christmas did not really warrant a highlights package. In terms of Mill's worst performances, a close fight between the abject 2-0 loss at Queen's Park Rangers in January, or either of the dreadful home defeats against Ipswich Town or Sheffield Wednesday in February that ended Joe Edwards' reign. The biggest disappointment. It's a real shame how it worked out under Joe Edwards, who was dismissed after winning just 4 of his 18 league games in charge. There were enough positive signs in his 4 months at the helm that some Millwall fans have been left convinced he will go on and have a successful coaching career, but it just never really clicked for the 37-year-old after the brilliant form the Lions showed over the festive period. Yeah, I'm not one of them. It was just a bizarre appointment that he had never managed in men's football before. It was just very weird that they actually headhunted him. Just bizarre. Yeah, don't do that. Now, moving on to this from millsc.co.uk, the last Loanwatch of the season, final done and dusted. Nana Boateng's loan spell ends in Wembley heartbreak. Nana Boateng's loan spell at Solihull Moors ended in heartbreak on Saturday as they suffered a penalty shootout defeat to Gateshead in the FA Trophy final. The winger played 65 minutes for the Moors as they drew 2-2 with the Vanarama National League outfit at the home of football, but to lose out on penalties for a second consecutive week in North London. The shootout scoreline 5-4. He actually got some game time this time, yeah. Boateng will now return to the Den alongside all of Millwall's other loanees throughout the 23-24 season, ahead of the return to pre-season training on Wednesday the 26th of June. Loanwatch will return to Millwall in the 24-25 campaign. Yeah, but like I said, we're still waiting for the released and retained list. And like I said, I think Boateng's 22 this year. If he's not getting in the first team at 22, the youth team, the reserve team is an under-21 team. You are allowed to play 3 over 21 players, excluding you can have 1 overage goalkeeper. But I mean, you would think that he's going to be released this season, possibly, maybe not, but we'll see. Now, moving on to this, talking of youngsters, don't forget, this is a reminder, Friday night, Millwall under-21s to host Birmingham City in the Professional Development League semi-final. So they won their league. This is the under-20. This is the national semi-final. So they played a northern team. It's Birmingham. Yeah, they're in the north, even though they're in the Midlands. That's how it goes. Kick off at 7 PM at the Den. It's £5 to get in, £1 for under 18s. So yeah, if you can get there, I mean, what else are you going to do? You're going to watch the Premier League on television or whatever, I don't know. But here you go. Now, it has been decreed, hear ye, the dates for the transfer windows have been confirmed by the EFL. Yeah, this is from EFL.com. We got this today. The EFL has today confirmed the opening and closing dates for the 24-25 summer and winter transfer windows. The summer transfer window will open from the 14th of June 2024 and close on Friday the 30th of August at 2024 at 11 p.m. The winter transfer window will open on the 1st of January 2025 and close on Monday the 3rd of February 2025 at 11 p.m. So there you go. So we have, barely a month from today. We have exactly a month until the 14th of June. And then transfers can be signed, sealed and delivered. They can be signed and sealed before then, but they won't be delivered. And was it the players come back in for pre-season on the 26th of June? So there you go. Yeah, and on that note, thank you for watching and goodbye.